Grant Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Corby, I don't have any audio.
Hold on. No. I've got audio. I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go.
Does this have anything to do with it?
Man,
you think?
This is going to be a rough day.
Huh.
Yeah.
So this little doohickey right here.
Yeah, that's important.
Does that have to plug into something?
It does.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Can you hear now?
Why didn't somebody tell me about this?
Well, we didn't realize we had to. But I'm glad you figured it out over there.
You know, I've only done this for 40 odd years.
Yeah, sometimes you have a brain fart, you know?
Give me a minute to get used to it. Okay?
I'm glad you cracked the code and you can hear now, correct?
Yes, I can.
You've confirmed that?
I can.
All right.
No thanks to Corby.
No.
Oh, that's bumming it.
Why? He's really liking that
he is.
that drop on you quite a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. It's funny.
It is, right?
It's really funny.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I love this story. Some Oregon educators are fighting for their jobs right now because of their idiocy. These idiots, these bigots, they started a campaign to keep biological males and biological females separated in their own separate bathrooms. You believe that? They wanted the boys to go to a boys' bathroom and the girls to go to the girls' bathroom.
That's weird. That's like new math.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
What hateful, racist, white supremacist bigots they are.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so what was their backlash to wanting the girls with the girls and the boys?
Yeah, they're about to be fired.
Wow.
Assistant Principal Rachel Damiano and science teacher Katie Medart of North Middle School face a pre-termination hearing before the board today. They're seeking a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction as they continue suing the Grants Pass School District for violating their speech rights. A court hearing on their motion scheduled for Friday afternoon, and their lawyer says this means that if Rachel and Katie do have their employment terminated, that they could conceivably get reversed one day later. The district argues the federal court can't reinstate them to their positions from which they've been on paid leave for 3 months for this inappropriate behavior. We are in a place right now where suggesting that boys, go to the bathroom with boys and girls with girls, that's inappropriate behavior. And you can be terminated for just suggesting it in school. The educators argue they spoke as private citizens about gender identity education policy, a matter of public concern. The two claim they're challenging a district speech policy that not only regulates their speech on any political or controversial civil issue while acting as educators, but also requires them to issue a disclaimer when sharing their views off campus.
Wow.
They've stopped sharing social media posts about the I Resolve campaign because of the disclaimer requirement and unconstitutional chilling effect, according to the motion for the temporary restraining order. The superintendent suspended them after they refused to take down the website, which also prevented MedArt from finishing a district-paid certification training course.
God.
It goes on and seemingly gets worse every day, doesn't it?
No kidding, man.
If you don't conform to the prevailing insanity, then you'll just be summarily dismissed. Sorry, we just don't want to hear from you. We don't want to hear from you.
What an Orwellian world we are in.
It's just incredible.
Just overnight. Poof.
Sure does seem that way, doesn't it? Yeah, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have believed this. And then the drag queen thing at the library. In fact, I mentioned this yesterday and we didn't get to it, but the monkey butt person at the library in London. This is interesting. Yeah. Show the picture of this cat. I'm sorry, he's not a cat.
Right.
He's a
he might identify it. We have no idea.
Don't know.
I mean, this guy's all over the map.
We don't know.
And in addition to the butt monkey thing, I mean, there's There's a front angle and a back angle. Look, okay, so there's...
Okay, there he is in the front. This guy was invited to the library.
We
Again,
had to pixelate.
hang out with kids, children, little teeny children. Yeah, we had to pixelate the thing that's dangling from him.
Gosh, this...
And it's not a tail.
No, it's not a tail?
And then in the back. There's the back view. Okay, good. Good, yeah. That's for your kids. And super appropriate.
And what's his deal again? He's at a library?
Yeah, he's doing one of those library with
reading
kids
to the
things.
kids?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. So your kids are a captive audience and this freak of nature. I'm telling you, man, the insane asylum has been opened up and poured out on our society.
Let me tell you the name of this this monkey. He was the rainbow dildo butt monkey. Okay.
Oh, boy. How many cups of coffee were just spit out?
Rainbow dildo butt monkey.
Butt monkey.
All right. Well, that's not a
Does
problem.
does he fly?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just wondering.
Monkeys don't usually.
Okay. See Wizard of Oz?
Redbridge Libraries hosted the Mendiga Arts Group at a Redbridge Libraries Summer Reading Challenge on Saturday. Video footage and photographs posted on social media show the number of performers outside the event, including the individual dressed in a rainbow monkey costume, exposing a fake buttocks and a fake unit.
Fake unit.
It's not immediately clear who the performer was, but the library is, for this one, the library is actually apologizing. Yeah, you know what? We will never again invite the rainbow dildo butt monkey to our event. Okay, so get off our backs, would you?
Now, if he had dressed up
Get over it.
in a drag queen outfit, though,
That would have been fine.
that would have been totally fine.
Totally fine.
Talk about an Overton windowed society.
Right.
Oh, could we please have a drag queen dude in here that's dressed up like the devil with the horns and stuff? That would be fine now compared to the monkey.
The rainbow dildo
guy.
butt monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. Some people just need attention, don't they?
And again, you know, there he is waving his noodle around and just, I guess, putting on a tremendous show for the kids.
He was waving his noodle around.
And then, isn't that nice?
That
It's
was nice. Yeah.
nice.
I mean, it's like
That's what you want your children to see.
there is literally no sanctuary for children anymore.
No, there's not.
There's no safe space whatsoever.
We don't protect them at all anymore. And if you try to, then you're a hateful bigot.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you hand off your authority to the state in so many ways, then eventually it catches up to you.
Yeah. And that's kind of where we are.
And that's where we are with sex change stuff like you discussed yesterday, where parents have no say.
Yeah. Regardless of what your parent says about you having puberty blockers. Sorry, then if you want them and you're 12 or 13 or whatever you are, then that's fine. We can do that without parental permission. They shouldn't have any say in this.
Think about that. The parents have no say in that. You drive around town and your kid isn't buckled up. They'll haul you to jail.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't protect them from puberty blockers, which could damage them for life. It's just, there are, risks involved with that kind of medication. Think of that. Medication that can stop puberty from happening. Huh. That doesn't seem like a good idea. But I'm, old-fashioned. These are such puritanical values that we, clear back in, like 2018 type, that type of time frame. And how old were you back in 2018? I don't even remember if I was born yet. So
What a world.
let go of it. Let go of those provincial little attitudes that you have, and everything will be fine, right?
Your puritanical era of 2018.
It's ridiculous. Speaking of which, jeez, In a minute, we got to get to the Joe Biden speech from yesterday, which was
painful.
Oh my gosh, painful to the billionth power. But I didn't even know there was a Courtney Cox special presentation thing. She apparently has a show on, and I don't know. She features interesting.
That's
people.
a good word. That's a good word. Interesting people.
Interesting people. During this.
If the butt monkey guy description didn't get your coffee spewed out of your mouth like Jack Tripper.
Check out this cute couple.
Get ready.
This cute couple is they're trying to nurse their baby.
Jeffy.
I guess they've had some problems.
Jeffy, come close.
A few issues with this.
Our family.
Oh, I put it on here.
It's cute.
The baby has been able to latch.
Okay,
but
latch.
I've not been able to produce any milk.
Pause it for a second.
Because we're gonna.
I don't.
Where's Jeffy? I need him in here to speak for me today.
Okay, so this is a cute couple, and one of the couple, of course, trying to feed their baby from their breast. Their breast. So this is interesting because they're both trans. One's a trans female, the other a trans male. Mm-hmm. The person who is trying to feed the baby has gone from male to female.
Oh, really?
Yeah, has gone.
Oh,
from
I didn't
male to
realize
female.
that.
And the other one has gone the other way.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting because it's the one who went male to female that's trying now to breastfeed.
I'm happy they found each other.
Yeah, this is good. It's really good. So how's the breastfeeding going?
It's okay because we're gonna supplement the feeding with formula.
Oh, good idea. Yeah,
my
good
baby's
idea.
still getting the nutrients that they need, but
That they need.
I'm still feeling hopeful. I appreciate
They're feeling
you so much.
pause it for a second. You're feeling hopeful on what? That somehow your body is going to defy science and biology and start producing milk through your male nipple?
Help us. Dear Lord, help us.
Wow.
That is
Let's see
that's child abuse right there.
it's-
That poor baby. Oh my
insanity.
gosh.
And I'm sure this is being presented as here's a couple of heroes really working out their situation.
You also, baby. I couldn't have done it without you.
Gosh. Yeah. Okay.
Remember, they were referring to the kid as they, by the way.
Right. Well, why would you burden them with a gender right now?
That baby has no chance.
No chance at being a hateful bigot.
That baby is going
Tell you
to
that.
grow up.
No chance at hating others that they just don't understand.
No, that baby's going to grow up to dress up as a rainbow butt monkey.
Yeah.
And hang out at a children's library. My childhood was screwed up, and so will yours.
It's crazy. Why don't you let the one who transitioned the other way try their hand or breast at feeding the baby? Just a thought. I don't know. Didn't the other one carry the baby? In fact, the other one carried the baby.
Yeah, I'm so lost.
But now the feeding is given up to the male, the biological male.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
That poor
Good try.
child.
I guess they're trying to will it into happening because everybody says it can happen. We're going to make it happen. In the meantime, we'll just supplement the baby's nutrition with bottle feeding.
Did I misunderstand you earlier? Were you offering to let us go back to 2018?
I wish I had that power. Oh. But so far, we don't. Let me tell you about Rough Greens, though, just to brighten your day a little bit. If you have a finicky dog who doesn't really like their food, this could really help. Sure did with mine. She loves this stuff. It's Rough Greens, and you just sprinkle it. It's a doggy supplement that is really good for your dog. You put it over your dog's dry dog food, which has had all of the essential minerals and vitamins, probiotics, omega oils burned out of it in the sterilization process so that it lasts a long time on the grocery store shelves. Well, this puts all that stuff back in it. And dogs love it. Now, once in a while, you run across a dog who might have a different sort of taste bud in their mouth, and they don't necessarily like it.
Or your
I
dog's,
can't think of it, Keith Mellon. I can't think of anybody's dogs
if your
right
dogs
offhand.
are a freak of nature.
But
right?
you want to see if your dog can get used to this and if they'll like it. So Rough Greens is willing to send you a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out just for a few days or a week. All you have to pay for is the shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Roughgreens.com or call 833-ROUGH-DOG.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Joe Biden was on fire yesterday. This is good stuff. He was talking about the Texas and Georgia voting laws. This is great. He's a little concerned. Here's what he had to say about the country facing this significant test.
The assault on free and fair elections is just such a threat, literally.
Literally.
I've said it before. We're facing the most significant test of our democracy since the Civil War. That's not hyperbole. Since the Civil War.
That's not hyperbole.
Confederates back then
Right.
never breached the Capitol,
Oh, my gosh.
as insurrectionists did on January the 6th. I'm not saying this to alarm you.
No.
I'm saying this because you should be alarmed.
You should be alarmed. Yeah.
I'm also saying this.
He's also saying it.
There's good news.
Oh,
It doesn't have to be this way.
really? Just
Doesn't
elect
have to be,
Democrats.
for real. We have the means. We just need the will.
Right.
The will to save and strengthen our democracy.
Strengthen.
We did in 2020. The battle for the soul of America. In that battle, the people voted. Democracy prevailed.
We don't have a democracy there.
Our Constitution held. We have to do it again.
This is outrageous.
My fellow Americans,
Yeah.
requires fair-mindedness,
Really?
devotion to justice. Corny as it sounds, love a country.
Can't take
Requires
it.
us to unite in common purpose and declares, here and now, we, the people, will never give up. We will not give in. We will overcome. We will do it together.
I can't take it. All right.
Guaranteed.
Stop. I mean, this lying, senile sack of crap, this old coot, is the most dangerous American president of all time. That's not hyperbole. It's simply a statement of fact. First of all, he comes off as trying to be this caring, down-to-earth grandpa to America, babbling about unity. Then he spews the most egregious, divisive lies he can possibly make up. And remember all that talk about him being some kind of moderate during the campaign? You can shove that up your rectum. Joe Biden is a bigger Marxist than Barack Obama was. That's not hyperbole. Joe Biden is the biggest threat to America's continued existence that we've ever faced. And that's not hyperbole. Second of all, the hysteria they've manufactured over January 6th, specifically designed to silence and eventually eliminate the right altogether. Because they can't win a decent, truthful discussion between the two sides, they continue to lie and try to shut us up. This is fear-mongering on a scale I've never seen before. That's not hyperbole either. And then third of all, this guy is literally losing his mind. And that's not hyperbole. These people are just plain evil. They're just evil. They look us straight in the face and lie repeatedly. They talk about this big lie about how the election was stolen, and then they have a bigger lie about how Texas and Georgia and 15 other states are trying to steal future elections from minorities and trying to silence them. It's so despicable.
Yeah, and they're making a lot of Civil War references lately, too.
All the
to try to help
time.
with their imagery and this false narrative that they're creating.
Yep.
Do we need to go ahead and remind them that it was Democrats in the Democrat slave economy that was being busted up back then?
Yeah.
Because they have no sense of history. They want to use this Civil War rhetoric without putting it into context. It's you guys. It's your party, okay?
Yeah, it's not. Democrats brought on the Civil War
Exactly.
because of their love for slavery.
Exactly.
Democrats were responsible for Jim Crow. Democrats were responsible for the KKK.
Exactly.
Democrats fought against civil rights throughout the decades. The 40s, the 50s, the 60s, they fought against it until the tide was so overwhelming that the racist in office, LBJ, was finally forced into signing the Civil Rights Bill. He didn't want to. You talk to anybody who knew Lyndon Baines Johnson back in the day, they'll tell you what a racist he was. These people are still racist. I mean, look at all the racist things Joe Biden has said and done over the years.
Yeah, all of the Confederate Memorial Days and all of those state holidays that a lot of groups were going after a few years ago, those were put in place by Democrats.
Every time. And now they're trying to use all of that, all of their history against Republicans. It's evil.
It is literally...
It's evil.
It's 180 degrees out of phase.
Yeah. And that's not hyperbole.
It's not hyperbole.
I just...
But I don't know if we should be... You going to watch any more of this Biden stuff?
I'll try to get through it. Try cut 3 with the talking about the Republican voting measures.
Okay.
In Texas, for example,
right.
Republican-led state legislature wants to allow partisan poll watchers to intimidate voters and imperil and impartial poll workers. They want voters to dive further and be able to be in a position where they wonder who's watching them.
Okay, I don't know.
Pause it for
I have no idea. I have no idea. If you play that without comment, just through that point, you will have no idea what the man just said. If we say nothing and just let him speak, you will still have no idea.
In fact, listen to that again. With that in mind, see if you can decipher this. Let's say you didn't know the situation, and he's just explaining it to you for the first time, as about 80% of the country is in that situation. So go back and let's listen to this portion one more time.
In Texas, for example, Republican-led state legislature wants to allow partisan poll watchers to intimidate voters and imperil and impartial poll workers. They want voters to dive further and be able to be in a position where they wonder who's watching them and intimidating them.
Pause it.
To wait.
They want voters to dive further and wonder. So they're going to dive, and then they're going to wonder
who's watching
them
and intimidating them. Well, if you have to wonder who's intimidating you, then you're probably not being intimidated.
Right? Let's see the rest of this.
To wait longer to vote.
Old man.
Drive a hell of a long way to get to vote. They want to make it so hard and inconvenient that they hope people don't vote at all. That's what this is about.
No, it is not about that.
This year alone, 17 states have enacted, not just proposed, but enacted 28 new laws to make it harder for Americans to vote.
No.
Not to mention,
it's a lie. It's just a flat-out lie. 400 additional bills Republican members of the state legislatures are trying to pass. Okay, stop. The poll watchers we've had for I don't know how long. They've been around forever. They can't even touch the poll, the people who are counting the votes. They can't touch them. They can't come in contact with them. They can't talk to them. They can't do anything. They have to stand well away from them and just make sure that it's a fair process. You can't. I mean, he does all these straw man arguments that they're there to intimidate these election officials when he assumes that everybody's going to believe when he says that they're impartial.
Yeah, why is he giving this speech in Philadelphia? Nice try. It should be in Dover, Delaware, where it is hard to vote. There is no early voting.
None. Absolutely.
Your home state, bro.
For instance, here's just a few of the problems with this madness. They keep saying that the Texas election safeguards restricting voting rights for people and voting access for voters. But the reforms create a more secure and uniform voting process that Texans can have confidence in while maintaining access for all voters. The reforms help ensure the election code is evenly, uniformly, and consistently applied across the state. Safeguards like voter ID have incredibly widespread support in this country. It's 81% in Texas. It's 80 to 90% elsewhere. They're also trying to tell us that Texas is trying to suppress the vote by limiting mail-in and early voting. Texas actually has more early voting than most blue states in the country. And as we mentioned, Delaware, his home state, has no early voting. None. So why aren't we yelling and screaming about Delaware? The safeguard on mail-in voting is put in place because Texans are concerned. 58% of us are worried about whether that will increase voting fraud. And it could. So they're trying to help you stabilize that process with a couple of rules. All you have to do is provide ID. We went through the list of the different forms of ID you can use and the different things you can do to prove you are who you say you are. And there's a million different ways. It doesn't make it difficult. It's so easy to vote, even by mail. Plus, Texas provides 2 weeks of in-person early voting for the primary elections, for special elections, and the general elections. A lot of states, Delaware doesn't have any. New York and New Jersey have 9 early voting days, far fewer than we have here in Texas. And our proposed reforms here would actually create an online tool so these voters can track both their application to vote by mail and then their ballot, offering a really efficient process for voters to make sure that their vote counted. They're also saying that we want to limit the early voting hours to suppress the vote. We have more early voting hours than almost any other state in the union. Proposed reforms set reliable hours that will benefit election administration and voters. If passed, Texas will have longer early voting hours than has been codified in states like Maryland and New Mexico. They're also saying that Texas's reforms will make it harder for disabled voters to vote. But despite that rhetoric, disabled voters will maintain secure and easy voting access. The proposed reforms would provide numerous voting options for everyone, including a simple mail-in process and extensive early voting. Now, what they want to do is continue to harvest these votes and go to old people's homes with a bunch of ballots and fill it in for them and then mail it in. That's what they want.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious what they're up to. It's so depressing that the American public falls for this. You know, the baseball All-Star game was moved from Georgia to Colorado. It was played last night. You know, where in Georgia you have 17 days of early voting, only 15 in Colorado. But it's not about that. It's about the mail-in. It's about the drop box. It's about votes that you can easily manipulate, like you just said.
And I love the fact that they're trying to make a big deal out of repealing the drive-through and outdoor voting. The drive-through and outdoor voting rights. When did we ever have drive-through voting? Last year. Why? COVID-19. That's why. We never had it before. They've ended it now, and that's what they're making a big deal out of? Well, what about the drive-through voting? Drive-through voting? Who's ever done that?
So much was done because of COVID that is changing us forever.
Yeah, and they just use that as if it was the normal process.
Yeah, that's always been that way.
Oh, that's our tradition since clear back in, 2020. And we've been doing that forever.
Pat Gray.
All right, got some tweets here. anti-Faucist says maybe the biological female and actual mother should have thought of the inability to breastfeed before she had her breasts surgically removed.
Yeah, you gotta think these things through.
Yeah.
It's important. We all know how important it is to have skin-on-skin touch with the babies. So
Right,
at
that's
least
right.
they're doing that and
Right.
joining their child with,
At least
with love.
the baby is having that nipple contact.
Correct.
With the mother
mother?
man.
Yeah,
the
sure.
mother man
Yes.
person. Whatever. Yeah.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Thank you.
It is
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Yes. Coop Cloud tweets, one transitioned male and the other transitioned female. That just sounds like heterosexuality with a bunch of extra steps.
Right? That's a lot of trouble to go
That's all
through.
it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you still have opposite sex relationship there,
Correct.
right? So, weird. Jeffy's meat sweats, 2009. You are lying, saying trans people will show their noodles to children. You bigot, liar, hate mongerer. 2021. How dare you not support the rainbow dildo butt monkey showing her man noodle to children? You bigot.
Yep.
It was a mistake. They apologized.
They did. It's easy.
And he wasn't showing his menu.
No, it was a pretend one.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's an easy mistake to make, to think, hey, you know what? It would be great is to invite the rainbow dildo butt monkey into the children's event here, and then to find out that,
Do a little reading.
right, and then you find out, wait, people didn't like that as much as we thought. I'm sorry. Darn it. I really thought you were going to enjoy that with the kids. Look what they got to see
I know.
and learn
And enjoy.
and enjoy. Lone Wolf tweets, have you noticed Joe seems much more energized when he's spewing absolute bullcrap? Yes.
Yes.
That's really true. You know, and he's got me in a blind rage. My mind is frozen up 3 times Biden-esque this morning already. I'm so pissed off at that speech yesterday. I just kept screaming at my computer yesterday as I was watching that thing. It's incomprehensible.
I know.
The lies they just get away with. And whenever Trump lied, and he did a few times, just a few times, but man, they were all over him. They were all over fact-checking him. Will no one fact-check this guy? Will no one step up and show that the Texas law is nothing like Jim Crow? In fact, it's the furthest thing from Jim Crow you can get.
It's embarrassing.
It is
to even
embarrassing.
think that.
It's outrageous, and nobody, in a position of power, none of our elected officials seem really pissed off about it, like we are. Why? How is that possible?
I don't know.
That you just let this stuff slide every day. They keep saying the same stuff every day. They make this mountain out of the molehill, and not that it was a molehill, but in comparison to what they're making out of it, January 6th was a molehill.
Correct.
And they have blown that so out of proportion. And I keep hearing people speculate that, well, they're going to go too far, and this is going to blow back on them.
Are they?
Are they? I don't know that you can go too far anymore.
When is that?
Yeah. When do we have that respite? Because it certainly hasn't happened yet. And now the Texas and Georgia laws, they're doing the exact same thing
Yes,
with.
they are.
It's unbelievable. But we got to get to chewing the fat with Jeffy. Something that should ease that blind rage. Dun dun bum bum ding bum 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 bum. Talented drummer, though.
Yes.
Talented drummer.
I would say the entire band is talented.
Well, sure, yeah. I didn't mean to diminish the rest
Okay.
of the band.
Talented at what? Can we be specific?
Playing their instruments.
Oh. I disagree.
What? That's
Yeah.
mean, Keith. You can't say that about children.
Thank you. Maybe as a band, they're not that
Now,
good,
if I'm
but
trans,
solo.
can I say that about them?
Yes.
Thank you. See, I'm protected that way.
But since you're not, that's horrifying. What kind of freak
I'm a-
would say these are not
I'm
talented children?
I'm a trans
These are talented
vaccite.
children.
Are we on yet? Because a solar wind launched towards the planet from the sun was due to strike us last night.
Oh, really?
And the Earth's magnetic field was supposed to deflect most of the energy from the high-speed stream, but
that's why we have the magnetic field.
I know. And we were supposed to trigger some aurora at the northern latitudes, and it was supposed to affect radio communication, satellite, and GPS issues, but it was not expected to be terrible with this solar blast. So, I mean, they said it was traveling towards Earth at roughly 1,120,000 miles per hour.
So we survived.
So I just want to make sure we're good, right? We're on. It's all good. I guess the solar wind bubble around the planet worked.
Apparently.
The way it was supposed to. So, all right. All right, good.
We're survivors.
Thank you. If there was ever a time to go through your stuff, you know, the stuff you have in your attic or your garage, try to make a little money, now is the time. Over the past 12 months, the record for the most expensive video games has risen dramatically. The reported timeline starts July 10th, 2020, with a copy of Super Mario Brothers that sells for $114,000. November 23rd, Super Mario Brothers 3 sells for $156,000. April 2nd, 2021, copy of Super Mario Brothers sells for $660,000.
Oh.
July 9th, 2021, copy of The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love that game.
Sells for $870,000.
Are these all unused? Or?
They're in the box. July 11th, 2021, just a few days ago, Super Mario 64, $1,560,000. So there's that. And it was all part of a huge collection that they were selling from 80s and 90s that they sold to various buyers. One of the auctioned off titles was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!
Yes, I was wondering if you'd mentioned that.
$50,400
Wait, what?
for the Punch-Out!
What?
I know.
That's the greatest game
just
up there.
$50,000. I don't know how you.
Punch-Out! I played that all the time.
Me
Played
too.
Zelda all the time. Loved those games.
If you still have them, bro, dig them out. Now's the time.
Yeah.
Even dented or scratched. I mean, you got to make a couple of bucks with those, right?
Yeah.
No kidding. Or maybe you can find a painting worth something. You know, they found a Picasso in a closet of a home in Maine that sold for $150,000. This little picture in Maine.
That's garbage.
They pulled. I know this lady had it in her back closet in Maine for years. $150,000.
I mean, why? Where did you get it?
She worked for some library or something, and somebody gave it to her, and
Jeffy.
she was just throwing it
Jeffy
into the back
scam,
closet. Yeah, and it very well could be because I know paintings from Hunter Biden are reportedly going to get up to $500,000.
I can't believe
Now we'll
this.
never really know because the father of this child is being transparent by telling us they're not going to be transparent. It's really kind of strange. And then they had the Da Vinci drawing of a bear's head that just sold. This 7x7 drawing is actually really cool, but it just sold for $12.1 million.
Wow.
Created using silver point on pale pink beige paper and is among the number of the artist's small-scale drawings of animals which date back to the early 1480s.
Wow.
And the one Leonardo painting that was the 500-year-old painting of Christ, believed to have been painted by him, sold in 2017 for $450 million.
$450 million.
But they believe, they're not sure if it's actually real. You know, there's a new documentary coming out called The Lost Leonardo, and it's supposed to, explore the darker side of this discovery because this Salvator Mundi was purchased for $1,100 from an auction house in New Orleans, and then the next thing they know, hey, this is one of these lost paintings of
Da Vinci.
And so it's not fake at all. It's real, and pay me $450 million. So I guess if you can sell something for $450 million,
you're going to. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep, that's real.
Yeah.
Transfer the funds right now. We're good. The Emmy nominations were yesterday. HBO/HBO Max with 130 nods. Netflix, the second largest number of nominations at 129. Disney Plus, third place was 71.
If you include all of their formats, though, Disney, ABC, Hulu, it was 136. Yeah. They actually won this, but
and Amazon had 30. So Right. And winners for the 73rd Emmy Awards are going to be announced September 19th on CBS and Paramount Plus, hosted by Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric the Entertainer?
Much more of the...
Is he still alive? Well, that's the biggest story of the day.
What?
Cedric the Entertainer
why are you...
lives. That's so great.
There's your show title there.
I mean, what are you
I haven't heard of
about?
Cedric the Entertainer in 30 years, maybe. And now all of a sudden he pops up
He's
hosting some
the
event.
Emmys. He's
All
hosting
right.
the Emmys.
Good, whatever.
Much more on this on Chewing the Fat today, so you need to subscribe to Chewing the Fat on the platform of your choice and just be a little bit happier. But we'll discuss a little bit more of Cedric the Entertainer.
Wait, you're guaranteeing
I
happiness?
am guaranteeing that. We'll talk about Cedric the Entertainer. Yes.
One of my favorites, The Mandalorian, was actually nominated. You believe that?
Oh, yeah.
The
there
Mandalorian
was a
nominated for Outstanding Drama Series.
A bunch of shows that were nominated. They're really great shows. Some of those categories are going to be tough to choose.
Do you watch
This
The
was
Handmaid's
really good
Tale?
shows. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nominated.
Yeah, a bunch.
This Is Us is a really good show. It just was too much. I couldn't handle the emotion
it
of
most
it.
definitely is.
I stopped watching that a few years ago.
Yeah,
but
I bet.
it's good. Really a quality show. Then there's The Boys, Bridgerton, The Crown, which I used to watch.
Yeah.
That's good too. Let's see. What's the comedy? It's if I can find it. Outstanding comedy series. Blackish, Cobra Kai.
Yeah, everybody loves Cobra Kai. It's okay.
Is that that's
it's on
like
Netflix.
Karate Kid,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The Karate Kid people are in it, which is interesting. Hacks.
Really good on HBO. With
Never
Gene,
seen it.
With Gene Smart.
Okay.
And the daughter, the one lady co-star in that is the daughter of what's her face from Saturday Night Live years ago. Anyway, they're really good in it.
Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
The Flight Attendant.
Which was okay. That was all right.
You watched that too,
HBO,
of
yeah.
course. Naturally, it was broadcast, so obviously.
There are some of these shows that I have not seen.
Bullcrap.
But very.
The Kaminsky Method.
I love the Kaminsky
What a surprise
Method,
you've
man.
seen that one too.
I love it. That's a great episode. That's on Netflix. It's awesome. Michael Douglas is awesome in it.
Pen 15. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean,
you didn't like it?
Yeah.
No. And Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I can't get into it. I mean, I keep seeing the ads for it, the trailers for it, or whatever, and it just doesn't grab me. So what else you have?
Anyway, I'm surprised that Richard Branson hasn't done this himself, but the question asked from the head of Haddon Industries back in 1997.
Want to take a ride?
I know. The Omaze, the charity fundraising platform, along with Sir Richard Branson, with Virgin Galactic founder, announced they're going to give away 2 seats on the Virgin Galactic commercial flight. It's going to support the Space for Humanity, which is a nonprofit seeking to democratize space and send citizen astronauts of diverse racial, economic, and disciplinary backgrounds to space. But you can enter for your chance to win.
We're even going to concentrate on race in that.
That's correct.
In that. Okay.
That's correct.
Good.
No purchase is necessary to enter, and you get 2 tickets. Maybe not to paradise, but you're going to experience microgravity at the edge of space aboard Virgin Galactic's VSS Unity. That's the same spacecraft that went up into space this past Sunday, which was it was kind of fun to watch. And 5 tickets for this gets you 50 entries, or $5 gets you 50 entries, $10 gets you 100 entries, $25 gets you 250 entries. According to them, that's the most popular. 50 gets 1,000 entries, and $100 gets you 2,000 entries. Or you can just enter without giving them any money, and you can enter up to 6,000 times. So you have
can enter 6,000 times?
That's the maximum number of entries. The
Wow.
maximum number of entries is 6,000 times.
By the way, you're not going to space. That should be noted as well.
I know.
You are not in space.
You're going to go 53.5 miles.
You got to go
from the Earth.
62, I
I
believe.
know, is the
to be
line.
in space.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos was quick to point that out.
Of course he was.
He was quick to point that out.
Of course he was.
He was. He tweeted out the difference. In fact, Blue Origin, Jeff didn't. Blue Origin did.
Oh, right.
Tweeted out the difference between the two companies and their rides, and you can see that he talks about how much better the New Shepard experience is, and that they actually go to space, and the windows are bigger, and it's safer. And I will say, it's safer. That's
He's
what
blasting off in a rocket.
He says that's safer.
Wow. Okay.
And I will say that we are not ready. Before, and they tweeted out, you can see some of the Blue Origin promo of the rocket taking off. No, that's Virgin Galactic, but the Blue Origin video from Jeff Bezos. Yeah, he gives the example promo here of the rocket ship taking off and what it looks like inside the rocket ship and the bigger windows. And he actually again goes into space.
Do you have more leg room too?
You got fat guy seating. Fat guy seating.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know if there's fat guy seating on Virgin but I'm willing. Look, if somebody wins and wants me to be their friend, I'm in.
Now, wait a minute. That looks like one of those things they got out front of Cabela's. You know, you can take out in the wilderness there. Those little igloo things.
Huh.
Yeah.
You just hook a parachute up. And
I will say that we are not really ready for space. And for space travel and for space tourism.
I don't think so either.
Because even Sunday's thing with Branson, which was a big production, by the way, so it wasn't a surprise that this was happening. He just held this in his back pocket. So it was a slap to Jeff Bezos, big time, because they had a big production, and Colbert was the host of the thing, which was agonizing, by the way. But I guess he has some kind of big relationship with Branson. But it was still delayed. And it was delayed due to prior weather.
Prior weather.
Wait,
so
what?
I'm just saying when we can not have things delayed due to prior weather, well, then we're ready for space. We're ready for space tourism.
Prior weather?
Yeah, there was some clouds that went by the night before, and they couldn't take off, so they had to wait.
I will also say that when you're going 50 miles or 51 or 2 miles up,
53.5,
you can only do it for 4 minutes. I'm sorry. That's not a $250,000 trip.
No,
that's not.
And we're
not ready for that.
It's a trip. It's a fine trip if you win the drawing.
Yeah.
You don't even get the bragging rights to come back to Earth and say, "Yeah, I've been to space."
Been to space? No, you haven't. No, you've been to the outer atmosphere.
You took a high flight, high elevation flight.
Welcome to it. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Make sure you subscribe and review with 5 stars, so other people can latch onto this program as well. They can understand your references when you start doing, all the stuff we do.
Yeah.
All the stupid stuff.
So on iTunes, is that the only place you can rate podcasts, Jeffy? Is iTunes? Yeah. So give it 5 stars there, and don't forget youtube.com/Pat Gray. You'll want to subscribe and click the bell so you're notified when we post something new.
Yes. And we'll change your long-distance carrier without your authorization. That's what we normally do with that.
But
remember those days?
Without their authorization?
Yeah, without the authorization. Yeah, we're just gonna take control of your long distance.
You're not supposed to read that part.
Oh, dang it!
What are you, Rick Sanchez? Ad libities? Don't read that part, bro.
There's one of those things that just isn't a concern anymore.
Not even close.
Because the world passed it by.
Not even close.
Love that. College football season, about 58 days from starting up.
For you.
For me. And less than that for you, right? When does Nebraska play Illinois?
I have to go to Jeffy's favorite
August,
site, HuskerMax.com.
HuskerMax,
yeah, it's August 28th. The countdown there, 45 days, 4 hours, 58 minutes, and 24 seconds mark.
Awesome. As the Cornhuskers will play Illinois.
Yeah.
Jeffy,
fighting Illinois.
Supposed to be in
I see where Missouri is starting their season with the University of People with Runny Noses.
I don't know my phone, so I
don't
don't
know
know
what
the
it is.
team, but probably, yeah.
Who do they got scheduled?
The University of People with Running Noses.
Running noses, yeah.
It's people who have a head cold, I think, go to this university.
So, say, hey, listen, if their nostrils are clear that day, they might put up a fight.
They might.
So you can't tell.
It's in the afternoon. You have some time to clear it out if you wake up stuffy.
I'm excited for college football, although I'm a little, with all the new stuff that's happening with them, I feel like it's
not going to affect it that much this year, so I'm not going to worry about it right now.
And yeah, this year
should be fine. Next year, it'll start to be an issue.
I know, big time.
Yeah. I mean, we've got we have guys, some on BYU's team, who haven't even gotten to the university yet, who've just been, recruited and they've accepted and they've signed with BYU. They've already signed agreements and are tweeting about it. It's like, what? Nobody even knows who you are. Why?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
So this thing is going to be, it's going to be a madhouse.
And then with the transfer, where they don't have to
the
wait.
transfer year, that's going to really screw
That's going to
things
be
up.
a nightmare. And I don't know that there's actually a expiration date on when you can transfer in the season. I haven't seen it.
There has to be, right?
I know.
I don't know what it is.
I don't
but-
know either. But I'm just, if you're a team that's looking to make a run to the playoffs, why not, have a guy that's with a team that's really good that isn't quite going to make the playoffs? Come to us.
Mm-hmm.
Take us to the championship.
Yeah. I imagine there's going to be some sort of cutoff because if you do transfer, it would have to be next year,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see because, I hope they at least made that provision.
They probably did.
Because that would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
That would be a nightmare. BYU starts with Arizona, and then they got Utah, the godless animals, and then Arizona State. If they start 3-0, look out. Look out.
Let me ask you a question, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? Mm-hmm. How many times have you said, if they start 3-0, look out?
In the last how many
In the
years?
last 10 years. Yeah, just take, off the top of your head.
Probably only 10 times.
That's it, though.
That's it.
That's it, though, yeah.
That's it.
Because if they start 3-0,
Yeah.
look out.
Look out. I stand by that.
know.
They are favored in 10 out of their 12 games by ESPN FPI. Put that in your pipe and smoke it,
they've
my friend.
been a strong team.
Yeah, they're tough.
They've been a strong team
They're
the
gonna
last
be good.
few years. They've just been disappointing at some of those levels.
Yeah, sometimes. This is good news, though. Bill Cosby apparently wants to do stand-up again.
Yeah. Is that a problem?
No.
He's just ruined the man's life.
Right.
Oh, didn't he celebrate a birthday
He's
yesterday?
done it.
Did he?
84?
Yeah.
He's 84 now. Wow. He's in good health. Talking plans that would see him return to the stage in the U.S., Canada, and London.
Somebody will let him play, right? There are already some places are saying no, they're not going to let him back in.
This is a tough one because it's rape he was convicted of. So
Hold on, his
I don't
attorney. Hold on, Bill Cosby's attorney is about to speak. Mr. Fisher, you had something. Approach the bench. What were you about to say?
you're rolling your eyes. Tell us what's
Do
on
I have
your
to do
mind.
this for you?
That should be washed. That record should be washed. I
Why?
should not
No,
even
it shouldn't.
know that.
He has a conviction on it.
Wait, no, hold on, Jeffy.
He got out on a
Your
technicality.
Honor.
He got out
the
because
conviction
that
was
information
overturned.
should not have been given out
That is true.
altogether.
Yes.
There you go.
That's true.
Must I do your job for you? That was right there. Your Honor. The court overturned
Objection.
the
The
conviction.
So all right. We'll go down your road.
All right.
And all right. So he
okay.
did his time in jail.
Yes.
All right. Now he's out. Mm-hmm. What do you want from the man?
What do you want from him?
I don't want anything from him.
I don't want to drink from him, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's for sure. Do you want to drink from him? Yeah, you wouldn't mind.
Jeffy
I'm sure
would-
you wouldn't mind.
Jeffy would give his son that drink.
I think his
Send him to Neverland.
So
Yes. You have often lamented the fact
don't make me
that
do
you
this
didn't live
joke.
anywhere near Neverland.
Don't make me do this joke.
All right, we got some tweets here, fortunately. Hippie Patriot tweets, just wondering if Jeffy's theme song was used at the launch of Mr. Branson's space launch.
That should have been.
Should have been if it wasn't.
Well, they had Khalid there, though, performing out in the
Khalid.
desert. Yeah.
Is that a rapper?
Rapper guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carl Smith tweets, why are Democrats supporting drive-through voting? Isn't that discrimination against rural, poor minorities, requiring them to get a valid driver's license, which they know is impossible?
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent point.
So good.
They can't drive. They can't get online. So, yeah, you're right.
Just the rural people, and then the
inner city
people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Axis Tech tweets, Pat, please, after that video of the trans male trying to nurse a baby, you go back to animal videos.
Oh, hey, there's a request. Okay.
Petty Officer America, should we start putting collars and chains on our children now so that they'll be used to them when they grow up?
Yeah, no kidding.
Caffeinated Texan, I was forced to read The Handmaid's Tale in college. I thought it was the most egregious piece of progressive liberal feminist garbage I'd ever seen. I was young. It's probably tame now.
Yeah,
Probably.
How is it? Is it
That's an
political?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
man, that's the whole thing. Yeah, but it's fun to watch. And the one lady that she's up for the Emmy, I can't remember her name now. This one actress who plays this one part
in Mad
during
Men?
The Handmaid's Tale. She is awesome. She's not the
No,
star.
okay, then I don't know who you're talking about.
The lady that you're thinking of was in.
What's
her face was in Mad Men, but one of the co-stars is plays a tremendous bad person in The Handmaid's Tale. Really good.
How many
evil
seasons
bad guy.
has that been going
I think
on now?
we're like at 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's been on a while.
It's been on quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to Nick in Illinois. Hey, Nick, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, if you wanted to play some animal videos, you could just play the video of the rainbow dildo butt monkey.
Oh, yeah, that counts. That's a technicality.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
you.
That's true. Thank you. Good suggestion, Nick.
Is that it?
So no. I actually have a serious point to make. Back in 2020, I asked for you guys to put a prayer request out for me because I got diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
I'm happy to tell you that I'm 100% cancer-free.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic.
Oh, great. Man.
Wow, that's great.
No kidding.
What kind of cancer did you
wanted
have,
to-
Nick? What kind was it? Your jaw?
It was it was called Ewing sarcoma. It was in my right jaw.
They have to dig it out of there? Or did they do chemo?
How's the feeling up there now?
Both. They did I think 3 months chemo surgery and then another 6 months chemo.
Oh, wow.
Dude. It was a pretty. I mean, modern medicine's pretty amazing. They actually took part of my fibula bone in my leg, sawed it out, and cut it into the shape of my jaw and cut the cancer that was in my jaw out, and now I have leg bone in my jaw.
My gosh.
That's awesome.
So you got leg bone in your jaw?
That's kind of cool.
I have a leg bone in my jaw.
That is something. And you can't tell, I suppose, right?
No.
There's
No,
not
I
even
mean,
a partial bit of the foot is sticking out of the mouth or anything like that. It's fine.
You don't ever feel like walking on your face?
Anything like that?
Man, that's great news. Thank
we
you
can
for
ruin
sharing
any
that.
decent story,
I'm
can't
sorry.
we?
I'm sorry.
Nick, that's
I know
so
it's
great
awesome.
to hear. That's really
And
great.
he's right about the modern medicine
I
stuff.
just-
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I thank you guys so much for, because the prayers, you put the prayer request out for me, and that's, honestly, that is what got me better. That's what got me better so quick.
That's great. That's awesome. Appreciate the update.
No kidding.
Thanks a lot, Nick. Glad to hear you're doing well. 100% cancer free. That's fantastic.
I
feel
just
good to say.
like to go on record as saying you're welcome.
And I just like to go on record saying, when is this going to happen?
I promise you, if I'm elected president, you're going to see the single most important thing that changes in America is we're going to cure cancer.
No. Okay. So still waiting on that.
Time's up.
Waiting on that.
Time's up.
Yeah. Be nice.
Yeah, it would.
Be nice. Pull the trigger on that. If I don't know what prompted him to say that, and he said it multiple times in multiple places.
He was raising money for his cancer foundation.
I suppose, but does he have any inkling that that's anywhere near a reality?
Well,
If it is, let's get it
I know
going.
we have, and I left my phone in my office, so I can't open the stories. But I know that there was a story not long ago about how we've now are able to recognize 50 different cancers before you get them. So you have these markers, and now they're recognizing it so that they're able to maybe put a quash on them.
I see that. A blood test, huh? Yeah, I'm seeing that right now.
So
Wow.
it's pretty incredible.
What else can they find out about you, though?
Well,
let's get a vaccine for that. Yeah,
Right,
that vaccine I will take. I will take the cancer vaccine.
And we don't know how long Joe Biden's going to be the president, so you might want to get on that quickly, please.
Exactly. It can't be much longer. I just read this article about how much worse he's getting, and that at the pace that we see the disintegration of Joe Biden's mind, there's no way
he makes it.
Even to the second year was their thing. Get ready for a Kamala Harris presidency. Or maybe
that's a frightening thought.
It's a very, very frightening thought. But so is, I mean, let's say you remove her too from the equation, and you fire her, and you put in a new vice president.
My phone. What date did Mike Lindell say that
August.
Trump was going to be?
August.
Yeah,
It's August. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
That was the master plan. You make him, you take over the House, and you make Trump the Speaker of the House, and then you impeach the other two.
Who would be a silver lining? There's nobody I can think
Right,
of.
it's going to be the same Marxist in
It's the
his
same
administration that are
Yeah.
going to be in her administration.
Yes, exactly.
No kidding.
I mean, it doesn't
They're
get
already
any
there.
better.
Yeah, they're already there working against America.
It's like, do you want these same policies put forward with a slur and a stutter or a cackle? Like, which do you want? Do you want Mr., my brain pauses for 6 seconds at a time, or do you want Miss Evil laugh?
I would like to say neither.
Yeah, neither. And from what I understand, Kamala Harris is not well liked. The speculation was
No, she's such a likable person, Pat.
But the speculation was that he would fire her. He would she would be ousted from the vice presidency, and then they'd bring in somebody else, like they did with Spiro Agnew and Gerald Ford, and he became president. So who would that be, though? But it's the same.
Yep.
You get the same no matter what.
Sure do.
And then if you go on to the next in line of succession, then that's Nancy Pelosi. There's just no way out of this right now.
No way out.
No way out right now.
Oh, man.
That's why we need stronger, better representation from the Republicans to stand up to this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was, maybe run for governor. That'd be my campaign. How about no?
How about no?
That's the Fisher 2022 campaign.
Yeah.
How about no?
Yeah, but somebody was suggesting online that you should be comptroller, state comptroller.
That
right?
Jeffy should be?
Well, that'd be fun, right? You'd like
State
that.
comptroller. I don't want Jeffy in any official position. Thank you very much.
No, but
we could barely trust him to do the whole chewing the fat thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, barely want him to do that.
We're talking about serving the people.
Yeah, I know we are.
Jeffy collecting taxes. Come on, that'd be fun.
No, thank you. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Bambi. When you're running a business, HR issues can kill. Wrongful termination suits, you got the minimum wage requirements, labor regulations, and HR managers' salaries aren't cheap. An average of $70,000 a year. But now there's Bambi, spelled B-A-M-B-E-E, that was created specifically for small business. You can get a dedicated HR manager, you can craft HR policy, and maintain your compliance, all for just $99 a month. A far cry from the $70,000 a year that you would normally pay. With Bambi, you can change HR from your biggest liability to your biggest strength. Onboarding, terminations, they customize your policies to fit your business and help you manage your employees day to day. All for just, again, $99 a month. Goes month to month. You don't have to sign some long-term contract. There's no hidden fees. You can cancel anytime you want. Let Bambi help get your free HR audit today. Go to Bambi.com/unleashed right now to schedule your free HR audit. That's Bambi.com/unleashed. Welcome. We're just looking at these buffoons, these Democrats from Texas who left the state rather than stay and do their jobs.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that? Do your job. The job that you were elected to do. Go to the Capitol building and do it.
Represent the people that voted you into office.
Instead, they charter a flight.
This is what we're doing.
And go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah. They're getting Greg Abbott reelected in all of this because he's now got an issue to talk tough on.
Sure does.
And he's doing it.
And he says when they get back to the state, they'll be arrested.
That's going to be awesome.
And brought straight back to the Capitol.
He has to. He has to do that.
Absolutely.
He has to do that.
Do you want to see them yesterday in D.C. Singing for us? Because, boy, that was a treat.
Yeah, because they're victims. I hate to see it.
Yeah.
The victimization of Democrats in this country, it's awful. They're only the majority in the freaking Congress. They're just such victims. Let's see them singing about their victimhood.
I'll turn it back over to you for the questions.
Okay.
And thank you very much for all that you and all of your colleagues are doing here today.
No, thank you.
Kumbaya time. Here we go.
We will overcome.
We will overcome. Listen to this. Horrible.
Oh my God.
Holy cow, that's bad. Have you ever heard a group of people like that sound that bad when you sing a song? Usually there's enough decent singers.
Somebody would have some sort of tune.
Where it would come out fairly okay. So that was just a travesty.
So based on that, if I get this correctly, the Republicans, the racist, hateful Republicans in Texas are trying to overturn all civil rights laws in this state. And that's why they're standing on principle now.
Isn't that what's happening?
That's what's. That's what I got. I mean, they're singing "We Shall Overcome." Obviously, it's a noble cause that they're standing up for.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making it possible so no one but white people can vote. I thought.
Yeah. So that's why they're "We Shall Overcome."
That is what they're trying to do, of course.
Okay.
Interesting how none of the Democrats in the majority joined the Texas Democrats. What is it about the Texas Democrats that the Democrats in D.C. won't have anything
to do with them?
We don't even want to see you guys in town. We're not going to band with you.
They had a big deal of, Biden was out of town speaking about 1/6 and the horrificness of that. Mm-hmm. And the Democrats were busy hawking their $3.5 trillion budget.
Right.
They don't want anything to do with them. And the last time they were there was a report from one of the Democrats who met with one of the leaders' press secretaries or their chief of staff. They're not even meeting with the head people. They don't even want to see them.
I think the biggest question from this whole situation that Rob asks is, are that group worse at singing than the Jeffy theme, the band kids? Which is worse?
I don't know. Let's play them together and see.
Oh, nice.
You might want to mix this a little bit.
Oh, no.
Let's go ahead and start the Democrats up again.
We will overcome.
Oh, the band is far superior.
Yeah.
The tune of Fat medley is far superior.
Thank you, Miss T.
I don't know. You tell me.
Now the band. Okay, this will be a Pat poll. At Pat Unleashed on Twitter, we'll put this poll up. Okay. There's a lot of polls over there that you could participate in if you'd prefer.
I mean, together, I would say that it makes my band sound worse, and I don't like it.
I think
I'm dragging them down, man.
All right.
All right.
888-900-3393. This is fascinating. The George Floyd Memorial in Toledo looked like this. Do we have both shots of this?
Let's see.
We do.
Oh,
okay,
this is in Toledo.
This is what it looked like before last night, right? In Toledo. Wow. Then they had a little weather mishap.
Okay.
And a lightning strike.
Whoa.
Made it look like this now today.
Whoa.
That's a heck of a lightning strike.
Isn't it, though?
That's a direct hit.
Direct hit.
Sure
I
is.
guess.
Yes. It's interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, because we've learned recently that
is there a number people can call?
Weather is racist.
Right.
We've learned that.
Right. Lightning.
So I think we just figured out.
Apparently racist.
Wow.
Huh. Well then. Huh.
I mean, it's going to take a while to, repaint that. And remuralize
and
that.
Rebuild the brick wall.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, though, there's two walls. Did you see that? There was a brick wall behind a brick wall. That was helpful.
So,
have you ever seen a building like a brick building get struck by lightning?
I've never seen it before.
I've seen trees.
That doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
Right.
It just means I haven't ever seen it.
I've seen wooden buildings, and
we saw the other day there was the big video of the golf ball that got hit by lightning.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yes, that was in San Antonio. Yeah,
that was awesome.
We don't have the pictures, but this kid was out there hitting balls when he shouldn't, and the lightning bolt knocked his ball out the sky. That was
interesting.
But not the side of a building.
Not the side of a building.
You don't see
with a giant face painted on it. Like a graven image of some sort. It's not. Would you call it that?
Image.
Could you call it a
Graven
graven image?
Yeah. Sure, you could.
No, you could
Sure,
call
you
it.
could.
Most people would call that ironic.
That is interesting.
It is.
Ivan. Is there
It's
a number people can call? I'll ask it again.
Yeah, it's right there.
Is there a number
It's
you
right
can
there.
call? Oh, that's
911. Get the fire department
That's
on that.
interesting. All right. I mean, we're just asking questions here. That's all we're doing. Just asking questions.
Is
Just
Sean
wondering.
Hannity a Scientologist?
Don't make me call my mom, because I'll do that. And
I will.
You'll be
And I
sorry.
did.
And I did. And he did. Alec Baldwin literally called his mom when nobody would call him to talk to him. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
Pat Gray returns.
I do. It's true. Thank you for noticing. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Tampa Ken tweets, will Twitter and Facebook slap a false information tag on Biden's speeches? Of course.
Yeah, right.
That'll be the day. Gwen's Dingleberry Crunch.
Oh, whoa.
The Democrats singing We Shall Overcome reminds me of a drunken Joe Biden singing The Village.
Right?
Ah, yes.
Right?
That is
Right.
definitely Joe Biden.
Right? The Village.
This is actually good, though.
It is.
Friendliest
Hometown. The Villages. America's friendliest hometown. The Villages.
I mean, that.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
There they are.
Listen how bad that is. Not
Terrible.
That's so bad. Unreal.
It really is
I can't
terrible.
take it. I can't take it.
I keep trying to hear, maybe even like you said, there's a voice in there that sticks out, that's on key and can.
No,
not.
There's not.
There's not.
And that's why the kids are better, because they at least have somebody that's doing it right.
Thank you.
Right. They have the drummer. They at least have the drummer. Coffee Lover M tweets, the Democrats from Texas are grown up equivalent. Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
Okay. Take
The
two.
Democrat-
Joe Biden. The floor's yours.
Democrats from Texas are the grown-up equivalent to Jeffy's band theme. And I can't believe Rob beat me to it. Okay.
Great minds.
All righty. Also, we had Pathead Daguerre Bear send us some patches here. These are
I love
Send some
these.
patches?
You guys are so great with the gifts. Yeah, so 3 patches here. This one is for you, Pat. It is what it is.
Dude, it just is what it is.
There you go. And this
love
one
that
is
saying.
absolutely accurate. Warning, I cause safety briefs. That's definitely my theme.
Okay.
Now, Jeffy's has a little backstory that I hope Jeffy will share with us. It's related to Jeffy going to the DMV, and it's got the numbers 4389. See if you can explain that story for us.
Oh, no.
I'll throw it back there.
What's
yeah.
the DMV story?
Yeah, so I guess you waited in line at the DMV.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, he said it was a deep cut on chewing the fat.
Chewing the fat, deep cut. Yeah, I went because I went there, and I was like 70 or 75. You have to take your number. And I'm sitting there, and they're on like 14 or 15. And I can't wait this long. So I hear the lady behind the window go, 15? 15? And she hits the button. 16. And the 16 steps up. And I'm thinking, okay, well, the next time nobody answers,
Yes.
I'm that number.
Yes.
And a couple numbers later, she's like, 20? 20? And as she's reaching for the button, I'm like, that's me. and I crumpled up my 70 number and I threw it in the trash, walked up, took care of business, and got out.
So
awesome.
awesome.
Jeffy genius.
I'm not waiting for this thing. And plus, if she says she has to see the number and you show her it, she goes, this number is 71. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was 20.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're back in line.
But you had thrown it in the garbage can, right?
She-
So it's gone.
I wanted her to see me crunch it up and throw it in the garbage. So it's just
That is, we got to stop calling these Jeffy scams. We got to start calling them Jeffy life hacks. That is awesome.
I'm sorry. I'm not waiting another hour at this place, man. I'm out.
Thank you to Gare Bear. Good stuff, man.
And if you're caught, what's the worst that can
Right.
happen?
Yeah.
They send you back to your
Right.
place. Somebody else
No,
comes
I
up.
don't know my numbers. Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
And it's Jeffy. I mean, it's believable.
Wait.
We got some new guidance from our friend Anthony Fauci yesterday. This is great stuff because Masks are not important. Then they're absolutely critical.
Oh, wait, yes.
Then they're kind of not important.
Nope,
then
not-
they're absolutely critical
Wait, what?
again. Now, nobody needs to be wearing a mask if they're 3 years old because there's very little risk. Now, all of a sudden, no, you need to wear a mask at 3 years old and up.
Truly maddening.
Here he is again. Dr.
We know
Anthony
that children under the age of 12 who are not eligible for the vaccines generally do not get sick, don't get COVID, or don't get as ill with it. But what does this spread of the Delta variant mean for them, for the children under the age of 12? And what's the timeline for when they might become eligible?
Well, a couple of questions, and the answers are the children who are not able to get vaccinated because of their age should follow, their parents should follow with them, the guidelines of the CDC, that unvaccinated children of a certain age, greater than 2 years old, should be wearing masks. No doubt about that. That's the way to protect them from getting infected, because if they do, they can then spread the infection to someone else.
How about no?
This guy is...
I mean, what's left to be said about Anthony Fauci?
Thank you.
What is left to be said?
He has been on every side of every issue involved with COVID for a year and a half.
Yep.
How are you listening to this man for anything?
I don't know.
He's been wrong for an entire career.
He's wrong over and over and over. And as we found, even before we'd ever heard of him, back in the 80s, he was wrong all the time.
Right.
In the 90s, he was wrong all the time.
His days are numbered, too. I can't believe, he's still, are we still actually, I see MSNBC and CNN is still putting him on, but,
yeah.
His days of the actual administration and everyone
the go-to
touting,
guy.
Yeah.
I think that he's probably on the way out.
I think so too.
Go back to heading up the NIH or whatever it is you do or did before we had to be subjected to you every day. Why?
Let the drug company pay you a good gig and have a corner office and just sit there and be you.
Yeah, it was a simpler time when he experimented on those kids back in the 90s from orphanages, but now it affects everyone what he does.
It's just the orphanage kids.
Yeah, they're orphans. Come on.
What are you going to do?
Right.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to set you up for that, Jeffy.
What
are you going to do? I mean,
nobody loves them.
You ever seen Oliver? Come on. Don't worry about it. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Omega XL. If you're in pain and you just can't seem to find a way out of it, this might be your way. This can be an absolute life-changing experience for you. Try Omega XL with its omega fatty acids that come from the pristine waters around New Zealand. And they put it into a tiny little gel cap that's really easy to swallow. This is backed by 35 years of clinical research. And it attacks the inflammation, basically has an off switch to it, builds up in your system, and then it just calms down the inflammation. It's fantastic. Once the inflammation goes away, so does the pain. So see if this can work for you. To get you started, when you go to omegaxl.com/Pat, you order one bottle, we'll give you a second bottle free. That's omegaxl.com/Pat. Or call 800-844-4888.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
You know, the emergency broadcast system, they used to call it that.
Yeah.
You'd have that for 60 seconds, and then they'd tell you that this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Well, it's the emergency alert system now.
But they
the
still
same
have the-
thing.
yeah.
It's essentially the same thing. And so you only test this, and you only start it up when you have an emergency, an absolute national or regional emergency.
Yes.
So you don't mess around with this, except in San Francisco yesterday. They set off the EAS system. And why did they set off the EAS system? To tell people to go get their vaccine.
Wait, what?
Go get vaccinated.
Is that even legal?
Can't be.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Some broadcast guy put on Facebook this note here. Let's see. Yeah, I just discovered that one or more stations in the Bay Area are relaying ES alerts. Get vaccinated against COVID. And he's like, whoever's pulling this stunt, who has access to that? Because you can't initiate from the radio stations. You wait for the master signal.
Right.
So somebody at the master controls would have had to send that to the stations.
Although the engineers can. Right, I mean the engineers, but once you get the master alert, then you can either override that and run it right then, or it times out.
You know the society we live in.
No matter what,
these sheep will just say okay to whatever comes across from some quote authority,
and they obviously did.
Yeah,
and it's for you're reminding me to get my vaccine. Come on now.
In other words, if you're listening to Elton John on Light Rock 102 in the Bay Area, you got.
Was this just one station? Or
he said several stations,
but it might have been the same company.
Could have been the same.
Right? So it may have been an override from the engineer at that particular station.
I see.
You know, if you have a company has a building with 8 stations in it or whatever, then you would take over those 8 stations, right?
But every city has the main EAS station that is the station for it, and then they trigger the rest.
Right.
So somebody at the main station triggered them all, which is weird, since there was no emergency.
It'd be interesting to see if anyone gets in trouble for
Yeah,
this, because
it is.
They were
gonna be
actually, alerting people to get the vaccine. After all, so
crazy. Yeah, so they won't get. There'd be no repercussions for that. No repercussions at all. Also, this is kind of fun because do you remember the whole hydroxychloroquine situation with President Trump? Someone realized that CNN is about as consistent as Dr. Anthony Fauci is. CNN had this
back in April when Trump was.
This is April of 2020, April 11th, 2020. Here's what CNN sent out. President Trump is wrong in so many ways about hydroxychloroquine studies. Here are the facts. Okay, so that was their big headline. Now, July 2nd, 2020. Study. So this is.
Oh, wow. So this is just 2 months later?
2 months later. It's not even this year.
Oh, wow. I was thinking it was this year.
It was a couple months later.
And the same author.
Makes it even worse. Yes, same lady, Elizabeth Cohen.
Same person. Study finds hydroxychloroquine helped coronavirus patients survive better.
Look at those headlines. When you can attach Trump to it, President Trump is wrong in so many ways about hydroxychloroquine. Why can't I never say the word?
And then, literally, let's see, April, May, June, July, so 2.5, 3 months later. Study finds hydroxychloroquine helped coronavirus patients
Trump already told you that, woman.
That is unbelievable.
That sure is.
How did we not notice that a long time ago?
I don't know. Thanks to
jeez, that's crazy.
Kyle Keshoff for catching that.
And we knew, I mean, I personally, we talked about it on this show a number of times. I mean, it was a lie to begin with, right? I mean, just because I know that we were beating up Trump, but I mean, I witnessed it save a human life.
Right, who was it?
Like my nephew.
Yeah, your nephew was super sick, right?
Yeah, he was close to being put on a breathalyzer. And,
or an inhalator.
Thanks, Obama.
Hydroxychloroquine saved his life, man.
Wow. And he's doing fine now?
Yes, it's fine now.
Wow. It's amazing. And the same is true for that other one that they've been talking about lately. Name escapes me at this particular juncture.
Oh, yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about?
Yes. I don't know what it is, but
not remdesivir, but the other.
I bet I can't pronounce it, whatever it is.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
But same thing for that. Because Trump mentioned it. It was poison.
Yep.
But now Trump's gone,
and my gosh, it works.
Doctors have used it. Oh, wait.
Which is
it's saving lives.
Which is exactly the left's take on the vaccines. Trump's in office, it's poison. Trump's gone, it's the savior of mankind now.
This stuff is pretty good. This is great. And
Why didn't we think of this before?
Really cheap. Everybody can use it. Go ahead and try this hydroxychloroquine stuff. It's really good. Really good.
Well, no, the vaccine, too.
The vaccine, sure. Yeah. Amazing. So if Trump started being everywhere, all of a sudden he's back on Fox all the time, maybe CNN even interviews him. If he starts talking about the vaccine and how he's responsible for it, they'd shut down.
So what percentage of Americans do you think would have received the vaccine at this point if Trump were still in office? Because I don't know that too many in his base would be getting it.
Well, the Democrats certainly wouldn't be.
Correct. So I wonder, what are we at right now as far as people that have percentage?
I think we're about 67% of adults have had at least one dose.
But many aren't coming back for that second dose.
No, it's
which
true.
is weird.
Yeah. So
why wouldn't you do that?
Well, it's always after the second one. That's when the problems start. Absolutely. Okay. Anyway, so I would like to know, in another universe, what percentage of Americans would have the vaccine now? What do you think, 30% that would have at least one shot right now?
Probably less,
Yeah,
because you'd still have some resistant on the right, and everybody be resistant on the left because they would attach it to Trump, and they wouldn't take it.
The Trump vaccine,
that's what they'd call it.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. What a world. South Korea's COVID rules demand slower workout music in gyms. Now, this is good.
how long have I been saying it?
I don't know, forever. I think forever.
How long?
They don't want you breathing heavy, right? And sweating more.
Plenty of gym goers rely on a good tune to get themselves through that workout, but in South Korea, their musical options have just been reduced significantly under the new COVID-19 rules.
Stop.
To the standard restrictions such as social distancing and travel curbs, South Korea has added a new requirement that gyms don't play music with higher than 120 beats per minute.
Okay, a gym owner's going to know that.
Well, the government is going to help them out with what particular music they can play.
When you're exercising with things like aerobics and spinning. Jeffy has this down to a science. His workouts are so slow that they're non-existent.
Yeah.
In fact,
it almost looks like sometimes
that you're not even exercising.
Almost like a sloth.
But it almost looks like that.
Reaching real slow.
Now we know because you're so athletically overweight that you do those workouts, but they're just incredibly slow.
No, like I said.
To the naked eye, you can't discern that he is working out.
Right.
Like I said, it almost looks like it's not.
So that way you're not breathing as much, sweating as much.
No, it's good.
That's good.
It's good. Health officials say the measure was intended to prevent breathing too fast or splashing sweat to other people.
Well, how's your spin class, Jeffy? How do you do your spin class? Does that go well?
I'm doing it right now.
No.
Are you?
Yeah.
Just really slowly?
Yeah.
See again.
Yeah, see again. To the naked eye.
Just can't tell.
It almost looks like you're not working out at all. Almost looks like you're sitting on your dead butt.
I could live in South Korea and be
yes, you could.
And not break the law or the rules.
You could.
Or the mandates.
Good citizen.
For Kang Hyun Kyu, an owner of a gym in northern Seoul, lining up fast, funky K-pop songs on his playlist was his morning routine, but not anymore.
Hold on a second. This is going to limit the listening of K-pop music?
Yes.
I'm on board.
Yes.
I'm on board now. It's not an overreach at all. It's just a
now,
smart
I know
policy.
that's a thing, but I don't think I've ever heard a K-pop song. Do they actually play them in this country?
I've told
on
you.
the radio?
I told you I stumbled into a K-pop themed hamburger joint once.
And do they sing it in English or is it?
No,
it's in Korean.
Yeah,
okay.
That's just a style of music over there.
Right.
Yeah, it's rough.
No, thank you.
No, thank you at all.
So it's like these are like South Korean boy bands, right? It's like the NSYNC 98 degree Backstreet Boy phenomena we had in the 90s.
Yes.
They're just going through it now. Congratulations.
Lucky them. It's fun, right?
Congratulations.
Boy, I would take the 90s any day now, though.
Oh my gosh.
That's like Leave It to Beaver times, man. Compared to where we're at
now?
Yeah.
It
like
really
Bill
is.
Clinton sitting behind a desk in the Oval Office with his intern. That is wholesome time compared to today.
We're on the way to sainthood with that stuff. Come on.
Right? Oh, Bill
we
Clinton.
could be canonized in the 90s compared to what's going on now.
Seriously. Help us.
Oh, man. I'll feel your pain. I take that every day.
Every day.
Every day over this guy.
Oh, yes.
Man.
In this society, I would take it. Take the 90s over today.
Now, again, when you hear Bill Clinton sound off on any issue, you're like, oh, that's why I hated that guy. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. But because he's not around very much and we don't hear him speak very much, he seems like Ronald Reagan compared to what we have today. Doesn't he? I mean, you look back at those times.
Hold on.
And you remember welfare reform.
Yeah, and he used to call them illegal aliens during his State of the Union speech.
Yes.
You know how we always say JFK wouldn't be allowed in the Democrat Party today? I'm surprised they let Bill Clinton stay in there. The sexual stuff aside. I'm talking about policy, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you kidding me?
Hillary keeps him locked in, though.
Mm-hmm. And we got all the stuff, the stuff that... I mean, it is so bad right now. There's this article that was written about demisexuals.
Yeah.
By a gay person.
Oh, that was on the calendar. Remember the June Pride? We paused the calendar. What tell me what demisexual is?
The demisexual is when you only have sex with people you're emotionally bonded with.
You have to be emotionally bonded.
Yeah.
Could be anybody.
So
but you have to be emotionally bonded.
This article comes from a person who says that I think she's gay, and she's talking about Andrew Cuomo's daughter who just came out as demisexual.
Right.
Okay.
And how she first thought she was gay. I think
the Cuomo's
queer.
daughter started out struggling with coming out as gay.
Yes,
right.
And then she thought she was pansexual.
Right.
And then
she came out as queer.
Yeah, and she said that she realized she wasn't the other two things because it was just hip or cool not to be hetero in my little liberal bubble, she said. And so what I realized I am is demisexual. So this person writes, Cuomo then went on to say that after flirting with bisexuality, okay, so she was bi, then she was pansexuality.
After I left out bi, sorry.
She's decided that the identity that most resonates with her is demisexuality. Then she writes, reader, I rolled my eyes. I know that's not the kind or constructive thing to do when someone is brave enough to come out, but I'm afraid I couldn't help it. My old gay eyes rolled involuntarily. That was partly due to amazement. When I came out 20 years ago, I wasn't worried that people might think I was declaring myself queer because it was cool. It was decidedly not cool. No, I was worried about getting beaten up. I'm not trying to win the oppression Olympics over here. I think it's brilliant that we've gone from words like gay and queer being widespread slurs to something that the privileged offspring of politicians reckon is a badge of honor. Still, I've got to admit that there was a dash of cynicism propelling the eye rolling. Last time I checked, demisexuals weren't exactly an oppressed minority fighting for equal rights. They're just people who aren't sexually attracted to others unless they form a strong emotional bond with them first. Congratulations! Some of you may have suddenly realized that you, too, are not actually the boring hetero you thought you were. You're an exciting demisexual.
Right.
You even have your own flag. I mean, there's some great points here. I admit that at first, I really thought demisexual was that it meant that you only had sex with Demi Moore or Demi Lovato. That's what I thought, which would really limit your options every weekend.
I'm not necessarily opposed to it.
But then to find out that it means you actually have to have feelings for a person before getting involved in that way.
Oh, we're out now.
Isn't that kind of the way it was meant to be? But we get our own flag out of it?
Maybe for you freaks.
But this is where we are now. We've gone so far that they're starting to battle within the LGBTQIA2+. Then you got to throw the D in there now, I guess, too. Demisexual. We'll see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.